Hello, my name is Michael Cropsey, and today I'm going to show you how to browse the web more securely using Podman on my MacBook Pro. Now, instead of running Firefox directly on the Mac, I'm going to actually run it inside a Podman container. This way, any malware, tracking, exploits, they're all contained and they can't touch my host operating system. Now, I'm running it on the Mac. This would work also on Windows. It would also work on Linux. And if your container runtime of choice is Docker, this will work on Docker. In fact, I'm pulling the image from a Docker repository. So let's get started and see how this works. Now, once again, why is this more secure? Well, I'm running everything completely isolated from my laptop or your PC, depending on what you're using for a client. The file system is completely sandboxed, and the environment is disposable. You can kill the image, kill the program, and everything just kind of disappears. It's rootless by default, and one of the reasons I am running Podman is it is a Docker-like environment. It is a runtime environment where it runs, has all the same capabilities that Docker has. In fact, it runs Docker images. In fact, some of the commands, all the commands you're going to see me run are just Podman instead of Docker. But it runs not as a daemon. Now, what does that mean? It does not run with root privileges. So for environments that run this with their Kubernetes platforms on enterprise servers, for instance, Red Hat Enterprise Linux runs Podman instead of Docker by default. Their OpenShift Kubernetes platform uses Podman instead of Docker. Podman is running with non-root privileges, which helps increase a little bit of the security. But again, this can be run just fine on your machine using Docker. It's a Docker container. So let's start the demo and see how this works. Now, the first thing you want to do is go to the website, download, and you can see it's sensing that I am running on a Mac. It'll give you two options. It'll give you the option to download the full desktop or just the CLI. If you download the desktop, you also get the CLI. And I'm going to show you the CLI commands. I've already installed Podman. As you can see, I'm running the desktop right here. If I type in podman-version, you're going to get the version. If I did not have Docker desktop running and you just had the CLI, you would init the machine. Since I've already got it running, it's saying it already exists. And then the next step you would do would be to start it. Now it's already started, so I'm going to get the message saying it's already running. The next step would be to actually pull the container. And this is optional. I'll get to that in a moment. But this is the repository. Now, if you go to the actual GitHub site that I'm pulling from, it is maintained by Jocelyn Lesage. Thank you. These are Docker images. Podman is fully compatible with these. And these are pre-packaged with everything you need to run Firefox inside a container. Firefox is a GUI app, and containers are typically CLI apps. So you have to package the X Windows environment, and then you have to have a way to view the GUI once it's running in the container, and that is done via VNC in this case. You could use RDP. You can build an image with RDP rather than VNC. That's a subject on another video, but this one is prepackaged with everything you need to run. And we are going to go ahead and pull that image. Now, why did I say this was optional? The reason it's optional is when you actually run the command, if the image has not been pulled, it's going to look for it, see it's not there, and go and pull it automatically for you. Now I'm running this. The name here is going to be Secure Browser. It's going to listen on port 5800, which is the connection to connect to VNC. The security privilege, the no privileges options make sure nothing inside the container can escalate its permissions. This is part of what makes container-based browsing safer than running natively. So I'm going to go ahead and run this. Now you will see, now I have secure browser showing up and running inside my Docker desktop. So now in order to connect to that, I am going to go ahead and do a connection to localhost 5800. And you can see it brings up the containerized Firefox. And if I go to, say, Wikipedia and browse around here, you can see it's all working. But if this was a malicious website that had malware, it would all be contained inside the container platform and not be running on my local host, my laptop, or in your case, maybe a PC, whatever. And the nice thing about this is not only is it containerized and isolated, but once you're done, you can safely just blow away the entire image. You see how fast it was that I downloaded the image, ran it. Just as quickly, I can actually remove it. I can say Podman stop secure browser. So now if I do a Podman PS, you can see nothing's running, but it's still there. If I do a PS-A, it's still installed, so I can actually do a Podman remove secure browser. And so whatever was part of that environment, boom, it's now gone. Now you can see it's totally removable as well if you so happen to choose. So that's my demo on how to run a secure browser locally on your machine. Other options, you might have heard of packages out there that let you run secure browsing running in a sandbox environment in the cloud. Usually that comes with a paid service, a paid enterprise browser. But there is this free version called Chasm. This allows you not only to run your browser remotely in the cloud in an isolated environment, it also lets you run Linux desktops, such as Kali Linux, if you want to do Kali Linux testing of your website, the penetration testing to make sure that it's secure as well. Now, I would do a demo of this, but I have a link to someone called Network Chuck. He does a phenomenal job demonstrating this. Check out his website if you're interested in how Chasm works and how it works for you. With that, I thank you for watching, and ping me if you have any questions.